If you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated.
Hello, Lounge on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, you know what today is, don't you? Yep, it's Friday. You know what we do on Friday, don't you? Well, you better, because it's Easy Five Friday. And today's topic is 5 awesome things we have seen since we've been on our adventure. Last week I did our top 5 campsites we were at, so I thought this would be an appropriate follow-up to that video. And I'll put that video link right here. You know, we haven't went a lot of places. We've only been at this almost 8 months now. And as you know, we only stay at campsites for 2 weeks. But we have seen some pretty incredible things while we have done, while we were just kind of parking these campsites. So let's get started. Number 1, Dismal Falls. And oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Yes, it is. And this was at Walnut Flats Campground in the Thomas Jefferson National Forest in Southwest Virginia. The campsite wasn't all that spectacular, but about a mile, well, I guess about 2 miles down the road from the campsite, you just park off the side of the road and you walk down the hill maybe 100 yards. Not a big deal. And there it was. Now, in this picture you're seeing, you see the rushing water. And it had, of course, you know, it had rained most of the time we were there, of course, because that's all we seem to endure is rain. There was actually kids walking on the edges of this water. So the water's rushing past their feet. And there was one family, and I thought, my goodness, there was one family decided to do it, and they had a little baby and not baby, probably 5, 6 years old, and probably a little girl, 10 or 12 years old, and they were walking on these edges of this waterfall, and I thought, man, that's terrible. But it is, you know, but it was just so relaxing, and we would go down there every day and just sit and watch that waterfall. It was really nice. So, Number 2, Yahoo Falls. Now this was in the Daniel Boone National Forest in southeast Kentucky. And we were staying at Great Meadows. Now this was not at the Great Meadows waterfall. You actually had to drive to Stern, Kentucky, and there was directions and anyway. But this was a little hike. And we walked, I think it was like a mile-long hike, but it was absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Went in behind the waterfall, in front of the waterfall, took pictures, and you're seeing all these pictures. Carolyn really enjoyed herself. She actually allowed me to put a picture in a video of her. So, this waterfall is the tallest waterfall in Kentucky. So, of course, we had to go see that, and it turned out to be really spectacular. I really enjoyed it. So, very nice. Number 3, Lake Enid. Now, what was so neat about Lake Enid was it didn't have water. Army Corps of Engineers camp development is the best way to put it, and there's a campsite. And we stayed at Bynum Creek. Well, when we got there, they had a boat ramp, went down into dirt. That's what it went into. It was a dry lake bed is what it was. Well, half of it was a dry lake bed. When we went over to Point Pleasant, it had water. But we stayed here for 2 weeks, and we walked this dry lake bed. It was absolutely incredible. It was really neat how they had, and then when I asked the ranger about it, he said we haven't had any water to fill it back up with. We haven't had any rain. So, and we just walked this all over the place. It was absolutely fascinating to me that we were walking in what was covered with 30 feet of water, 20 feet of water. Number 4, Wolf Gap. Wolf Gap was absolutely incredible. It was an awesome campground, but you go up this trail, and my goodness, the trail was incredible. Oh, it was straight up. It felt like it was straight up. Carolyn and I would walk 10 feet, 10 steps, and stop, rest, 10 steps. And it was, I think it was a 2-mile hike just straight up. A mile and a half, sorry. I think it was a mile and a half straight, just basically straight up. Anyway, but when we got there, and you're seeing footage of this now, when we got there, I realized that this was the moment that I've been looking for my entire life. I'm sitting there and I'm watching a town go by with a highway, cars traveling by, and I'm sitting there just watching it go by, and they had no idea I was there. It was just breathtaking. I don't even know how to express to you how amazing this place was. In the video that I made, I talked about, how it was just, everybody should get to experience something like that, where it was just, that was the moment they'd been waiting for. Number 5, Wakulla Beach. And I have talked about Wakulla Beach endlessly. Wakulla Beach, we decided to go look at, just so we could see. When we were in Florida doing our little test run, we went over to the east coast, the Atlantic Ocean, but we also wanted to go see the Gulf Coast. And so I simply Googled beach. So it showed me Wakulla Beach. So, I don't know, we drove a couple hours to get to it. And when we got to it, oh my goodness, the road was treacherous. It was a sand road, very wet. There were spots in there. I mean, I did not know if we were going to slip off into the ditch. It was terrible. The road was just terrible. Frightened the whole way. But then when we went around that corner and saw that ocean, oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to explain the overwhelming feeling of joy and happiness and serenity and all of the things that just come together and make you feel like you're in heaven. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The smell of the ocean, the breeze. It was very windy. We had a picnic there. So I hope everybody gets to experience their Wolf Gap or their Wakulla Beach. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And happy travels.